Live on the web, KABC.com. Live on the radio, Talk Radio 790 KABC.
Now my guest is former Iraqi Air Force General George Asada. And before General Asada and I speak, let me just give you a little bit of background. He wrote a book called Saddam's Secrets, How an Iraqi General Defied and Survived Saddam Hussein. Now, General Asada was a member of Saddam Hussein's inner circle. He graduated from Iraq's Air Academy in 1959. He was trained by elite forces in Great Britain, in Russia, and here in the United States. And the United States, rather. He was an ace fighter pilot. He trained other pilots. He became Air Vice Marshal in Saddam's military. He was decorated for acts of bravery, including saving the lives of 40 downed coalition pilots in the Gulf War. He's director of the Iraqi Institute for Peace and serves as a spokesman for the newly elected Prime Minister of Iraq. Now, he and I last spoke about 5 years ago, and I wrote 2 articles about our exchange. And they're posted on Facebook and on Twitter. And in the interview, he said this: Saddam Hussein did in fact have stockpiles of chemical and biological weapons, and he was working on a nuclear weapon. And during the run-up to the war, there was a natural disaster in Syria, and Saddam lied to the world and said he was going on a humanitarian mission. He took 2 civilian planes, one a 747, one a 727, hollowed them out, and packed them with chemical and biological weapons, and in 56 sorties carried it to Syria, and also used convoys of trucks to carry other WMD to Syria. Furthermore, he said that he was doing a deal, Saddam Hussein was, with China to build a nuclear capacity. So the intel was not wrong, said General George Asada. The intel was absolutely right, but the run-up to the war was so long that Saddam Hussein was able to spirit the WMD out of the country and to Syria. Now, I asked him, did you talk to other people in America about this? He said, yes, of course. And he met with Senators Inhofe from Oklahoma and Sessions from Alabama and Representative Peter Hoekstra from Michigan, and he told them all of this. And I said, well, have other people come to confirm it? And he said, yeah. And he mentioned one other high-ranking official. And he said many others are afraid to talk. And Syria is a closed country. They've had a declared state of emergency for decades. No one can talk. But he said, if and when something happens in Syria, you're going to find government officials and members of the military confirming what I've just now told you. With all of that, please welcome to the show former Iraqi General George Asada. Mr. Asada, my friend, thank you so much for coming on.
Hi, Larry. Thank you very much. How are you?
I am well. Did I summarize both your background and what we discussed 5 years ago?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much. It was nice.
General, now all of this stuff going on in Syria, we don't know where it's going to lead, but maybe, just maybe, Bashir's days are numbered. If he falls, and if there is a government that is set up that is friendly towards our government, will Iraqi government officials and members of the Syrian government officials and members of the Syrian military come forward and confirm what you've just now told us?
Well, I am exactly sure, because what have happened, it was not a small thing at that time when airplanes flew from Baghdad to Damascus and carrying these weapons of mass destruction there. I am sure that if any change will happen, some people will raise their voices and say that this is what happened, and I'm sure they will then remember me what I have said at that time.
General, do you realize what a big, big deal this will be if some Syrian officials and Syrian members of the military publicly say it is true that this WMD, chemical and biological weapons, they were in Baghdad and they were transferred from Baghdad to Syria? General, do you realize what a big, big deal this will be?
I know this is a huge thing, and I hope it will happen. You see, the truth will never be hidden forever. The truth, there is a time it will be shown in the noontime, and I hope that will happen very soon in Syria and other places. It's exactly like what happened in Libya. You know, when he gave up from his nuclear and weapon of mass destruction, although he's still having a little bit left. But anyhow, we hope that something will happen and the truth will be told to everybody.
My guest is General George Asada, a former Iraqi general, the second ranking military personnel in the Iraqi Air Force. And we're talking to him about an interview that I had with him 5 years ago, in which he said that the WMD were, in fact, in Iraq. There were stockpiles of WMD. Our intelligence was not wrong, but the dictator used planes and trucks and transported. How much, General? I think you said hundreds of tons.
Yes, they were, you know, there were 100 semi-trucks of, 30 to 40 tons on the ground, and about 56 sorties done by Jumbo and 207. These 56 sorties were, flown from Baghdad to Damascus, and the 100 semi-trucks were also driven to west of Iraq to Deir ez-Zor and then to Syria by the Iraqi drivers up to the borders of Iraq. And then Syrian drivers used to take these semi-trucks in order not, for the Iraqis to know where these were taken.
General, please don't go away. My guest is General George Asada, the author of the book Saddam's Secrets, How an Iraqi General Defied and Survived Saddam Hussein. 1-800-222-KABC is the number. When we come back.